there, fellow adult collectors, welcome back. David Eon here with another vintage video virtual showcase. Today taking a look at Ideal's Electroman and Zogg. Electroman and Zogg action figures. Although I don't know if Zogg quite counts as an action figure since he only has like literally two points of articulation jointed at the shoulders, which you can pretty much make out right there. And Electroman, which is essentially a big doll. He's about 15 inches tall. And these were produced in 1977 by the Ideal Toy Corporation. And the objective was to be competition for Kenner's $6 Million Man line. And there have been several attempts at this. Tomy made an attempt with their Mighty Max 12-inch figure, and Mattel did it with their 13-inch Pulsar figure. Everybody just wanted to do something kind of like Kenner's $6 Million Man, only maybe bigger, because Ideal really went all out with a 15-inch figure here. Wanted to make competition for the Kenner $6 Million Man line because it was so immensely popular for Kenner. Kenner made a lot of money off of the $6 Million Man, and a lot of people wanted to kind of knock that off. And Electroman is Ideal's attempt at knocking that off. And of course they had to make a villain for him, which is Zogg. And you notice that Zogg has a big reflective disc on his head. And then if you look back over at Electroman here, and sorry for the glare, I'll see what I can do. Electroman has a big goofy flashlight attached to the top of his head, and that is how they interact, because Zogg is an electronic toy. And you see here it says Zogg the Terrible, Electroman's adversary. Silently, Zogg waits for his victim. Slowly he lurches forward, ready for the attack. Only Electroman's electronics or your stun gun can knock him off his feet. It says complete with stun gun, and that gun is in this package and is very, very difficult to find especially if you're looking for a loose Zogg. Zogg in the box is almost impossible to find, but loose examples never have the gun. And it goes on to say, a creature so awesome, only Electroman or you can defeat him, which kind of makes the villain the main character and Electroman an accessory, since you do not need Electroman in order to interact with Zogg. It comes with a gun, and basically the gun is a flashlight, and you shine it at his reflector, and when you turn Zogg on, he kind of rolls forward, and when you hit that reflector plate with a light, and you don't even need the gun, you could probably use a flashlight, literally Zogg falls flat on his face. The wheels under his feet tip and he falls right down on his face. Electroman is jointed at the shoulders, elbows, wrists, hips, knees. You get the idea. He has like a ridiculous outfit on. He looks really, really goofy. And I've seen two box variations on this, although the variation is an interior box design. My interior box is the white one. I've also seen it with like a map printed on the interior box. I don't have that one, and neither of those match what's in the catalog. I've the one that's in the catalog, and I actually have the 1977 Ideal Toy Fair catalog, and I'll show you here in a moment. The Electroman, there's Electroman in the original catalog. Electroman leads the revolution of 77. So they're introducing this as a new toy and showing you that he's basically a guy with a big goofy helmet with a flashlight attached to it. And there he is again with Zogg, and these kids are playing with him, and you see how Zogg's feet are. And he's got he looks like he's on like a hoverboard, basically. And when you shoot the light, it trips up and he falls on his face. And they demonstrate that here. Here's the kid with the light gun. And you notice also that the light gun in the catalog picture does not match the light gun that he actually came with. So they changed it. So here he is, you shoot him, he stumbles, you see the arm falls forward, and then he literally falls flat on his face, which is a great way to break the toy. And again, notice the interior box of the Zogg, much different than the interior box on mine, which has never been removed from the box. So something changed. And that right there is a notation of the original price. Because prices weren't in here, but often in these old catalogs, a dealer will have written a price, $11.99 suggested retail, which is quite a bit for 1977. And then Electroman, $15.99. Golly! $16 for Electroman. Well, let's go ahead and take a look around these boxes. See, programmed with the fantastic powers of sound and light. And then Zogg says, Zogg the Terrible, a creature so awesome only Electroman or you can defeat him. And we're back to that again. And here we demonstrate. Oh, I think it starts on this one, because yeah, instructions 1, 2, 3, and 4. Zogg the Terrible, 16 inches tall, arms raised, poised for the attack. And there's a happy kid with the new light gun. Aim at his head and fire your stun gun, and Zogg the Terrible moves towards you. All right, and then back here we have a full depiction of Zogg. Stun deflector shield for use with Electroman. Movable arms can be raised or lowered. Again, that's his only points of articulation, literally 2 points. Made of tough, impact-resistant plastic. I would hope so. Self-contained electronics controls action. Large 16-inch figure, motorized attack. And then over here you got 3 and 4. Continuing. Or use Electroman's stun ray to control Zogg's attack. Electroman sold separately. Yeah, make sure we understand that. And then finally, fire again, and the monster begins to fall. You've won this round, but Zogg will return again and again for many exciting adventures. I see. Now, I love this actually, because this is just a big, goofy figure. It really is. And we'll go ahead and flip this around. And this has a 1, 2, 3, 4 also. But it's different. Because Electroman does more than just shoot Zogg, which it'll explain. Electroman, in the guard position, he alerts you with his warning signal when anything approaches. He actually senses movement and light around him. So he has, like, as well as the flashlight, a light sensor. He can be used sort of like an alarm system in that regard. So he does make noise when someone passes in front of him if he's left on. In the radar position, he detects the enemy, beams in and signals an alert with a blast of sound and light, enemy badges included. And there is a couple of small reflectors in this package. And then on the back here you have a full description, programmed with the fantastic powers of sound and light again, metallic helmet detail, operating stun ray and radar beam, electro motion sensor, which is that hole in the middle of his forehead, multicolored uniform, yeah thanks, 4-position power selector on back, prismatic emblem, prismatic belt, movable shoulders, elbow, hip, wrist, knee, waist, and ankle, full length cape, actually it only goes above his knees, again large 16-inch action figure, soft flexible boots. And finally, we complete the story as he confronts Zogg. Electroman in the stun position. You control his attack on the enemy. Zogg the Terrible sold separately. And then finally, Electroman is a 16-inch fully posable action figure. Have fun setting up your own dangerous missions, then watch and listen as Electroman protects and defends you. Very interesting. And you can find loose examples of Electroman all day on like eBay. Sometimes Zogg turns up, and again when he does, usually the gun's not there. Boxed examples of either of these are tough, and I don't think this lasted very long on toy shelves. Too incompatible with other action figure lines, plus the price points were high, and I bet you these ended up on clearance and sold pretty cheap. I wish the price tag was actually still on there, because it looks like obviously someone removed a price tag. I'm willing to bet there was a clearance tag, and I'd like to see what it originally sold out for. And it goes on, it says, program with the fantastic powers of sound and light. He's computerized, and you control him. Basically, he just has a switch on his back, but you get the idea. Make the slightest movement, and Electroman sounds his warning signal. His stun ray automatically beams in to immobilize his enemies with a blast of sound. Then he gives his all-clear signal. Set up your own dangerous missions. You can make Electroman detect and destroy the enemy. Complete with stun ray, activating enemy badge. And again, inside the package, there is like a reflector disc. Or there might be a couple of them actually. I don't remember. This one is not sealed, so I can go ahead and slide him out here real quick to give you a better look at the actual toy. Carefully. And here's poor Electroman in all of his glory out of the box. It's really goofy looking. Is he jointed at the neck? I don't think he is. No, he is not jointed at the neck. And then there's the reflector discs back here behind his feet. There's his boots. And you see that they glued the boots. You can see that on both of these. They glued his boots on. And here's the disc. And there's two of them. And also in this package is a series of instructions and paperwork. And I'll go ahead and show that to you really quick. Here's your official Electroman t-shirt. Mail-in certificate. See? It says KIF Products, Jamaica Avenue, Hollis, New York. Do not send cash. I want an Electroman t-shirt. I've never seen one. Instructions for the hip joint, because it says sometimes during play it's possible Electroman's legs may become separated from his body at the hip. To reinstall the leg at the body, do the following, and then here's your instructions. Great. Nice work there, Ideal. His hips may come out of joint. So, my superhero needs a hip replacement. Order form for a replacement bulb. Okay. Please send me X number of bulbs at 50 cents a piece to use in Electroman. Here's a check or money order. Golly, Ideal, I don't know about you. And here's the Electroman sound and light total explanations. Here's the battery compartment instructions and 3C batteries to run this sucker. Good Lord. And here's a picture of the little switch, function switch. It looks like you need a screwdriver to turn it. Slowly move your hand in front of his face, I guess to test if he does not work. Instructions. It's interesting. Here's the reflectors, and notice also the reflectors that it comes with. This drawing resembles the reflectors that are in the package, but they do not look like the ones that were pictured in the catalog yet again. And I like that all the paperwork is in here. I got to be careful though, because you know some of this paperwork can be fragile. Instructions on how to change Electroman's bulb. So yeah, you take that thing out and it looks like he has no brain. Very interesting. If you've never seen any of this before. So I hope you're getting something out of this. And this video was by request, by the way, because I do take requests sometimes. People see stuff in our museum and they're like, "What is that?" Or "I've never seen that before," or "I think I've seen that but I don't remember." And you know, if I have the time, I don't always have the time, but I do my best to go ahead and showcase this stuff. Very interesting action figure, very interesting piece of toy history here. And I hope that you enjoyed seeing these. Do you remember these toys? Did you have these as a child? Is this something you would be interested in as an adult collector? Believe it or not, there was never that much interest in Electroman or Zogg, and you can find examples of these pretty cheap, actually, loose or boxed. Even boxed examples, it can get up there, but not as high as you might think. I think the last time a boxed Zogg, for example, sold on eBay, it got around $250, honestly. So yeah, it's not as bad as you might think, and loose examples shouldn't be that much. Hopefully you can find Zogg's gun if you do. Oh, there is one other version of Electroman, because I pointed out that there's two interior box versions, but there's also like a version that comes in a box from like Sears, and it's just a plain white mailer box. Nothing special about it. Not anything I'd be interested in. If I came across the one with the different interior, I might get it, but you know, I don't need it. Anyways, please do let me know what you think. Please do give the video a thumbs up if you got something out of it. I hope you did. Share it if you can. Subscribe if you're new. Check out some of the other videos if you have not for more showcases, for vintage toy discussions, for whatever we do here. We do a lot of things that are adult, collector oriented, and nostalgia and pop culture oriented. And you may find something interesting, and I hope that you do. So, that being said, what more can I say? But thanks for watching, and we will see you again soon.